Okay, you know we couldn't keep his shirt on forever. Dante is back, and really chilly I imagine, given that this whole game takes place at night. Also, he's not really back, he's here for the first time because this is, say it with me now, a prequel.
Which was the style at the time.
But this one bucks the trend of prequels in general by being actually really good. The review I gave Devil May Cry 2 a couple of episodes ago was far more positive than the mauling it got from fans and critics alike when it released. So Capcom knew things needed to change for the third entry. Specifically, they needed to go back to what made people love the first one, and that's exactly what they did. But Devil May Cry 3 has way more going for it than just that. Right from the very beginning, the game makes it clear that we're going back. The intro itself is essentially a reboot/remake of the original.
Sorry, not open for business yet.
Devil May Cry. Sorry, we closed at 9.
Well, if you want to use the bathroom,
It's in the back.
But more importantly, we're going back to enclosed spaces full of enemies to slice, dice, blast and juggle, as the tutorial takes you through building combos and looking cool while destroying some nefarious lads. But you can immediately feel the difference from both previous titles in the series because of the speed of movement, which has been so significantly increased. It's tough to remember if you haven't played them recently, but Devil May Cry 1 is noticeably slower than this. Dante seems to take forever to swing his sword, and he has a palpable sense of immobility when you're trying to evade enemy attacks. Here in the third game, it seems as if the devs went full-on Street Fighter 2 hyperfighting and upped the speed by at least a factor of 3. Young Dante is just so sprightly. It's probably because he's not carrying all the extra weight of a shirt.
You mind putting a shirt back on? There's a lot of people around here. Probably gonna make them feel uncomfortable about their bodies, don't you think?
In lesser hands, this might have pushed the combat into unmanageable territory, but it actually gives you a much greater sense of control, as you're not stuck waiting for animation priority. You feel like you can move around, dodge and attack exactly when you want to, not when the game decides you've been patient enough and lined everything up just right. Dante's Awakening also retains the second game's more fluid control style, making switching between slicing and shooting mid-combo a breeze, and allowing for wall running and jumping, as well as adding the ability to switch weapons at the tap of R2 and L2, so you can switch from pistols to shotgun, or from Rebellion to nunchucks mid-combo, for all those lovely style points. Although, the setting as a prequel allows them to take away the power-ups from the original, like Air Hike and Stinger, all of which you can acquire through this adventure, so probably best not to dwell on the canon of it all. Speaking of which, the setup here in Devil May Cry 3, alternate title Virgil's Enormous Turgid Shaft. See, I know what you want, I know why you're here, dirty carry-on bastards. Actually, there's a bit of that throughout. Not sure about this either.
Is the gayest project has ever done.
Does anyone else feel uncomfortable?
And will you, for the love of God, put on a fucking shirt?
Anyway, the setup is that teeny, tiny, little shirtless Dante is just starting out on his quest to redecorate the planet with demon intestines, when suddenly an enormous tower just erupts out of the ground right in his hometown. When he goes to investigate, he discovers that it's a massive gothic castle type deal, very convenient, and it's going to form a tunnel between the demon world and the real world, leading to all kinds of death and destruction and other such unpleasant business. Through his journey to stop all this nonsense, he'll encounter series' favourite lady. Don't hurt yourself coming up with names there, Capcom.
okay. Then what should I call you?
I don't care, whatever you want.
Whatever, lady.
His brother Virgil, who's the primary villain, and will use devil power for the very first time, in a scene that was mind-blowingly awesome at the time, but looking back maybe seems a little cringe.
I see a devil inside you has awakened as well.
Although in fairness, I actually think Dante's quippy attitude is a bit better here than in the original.
Easy, Fido. How about I take you out for a walk? Come on, puppy. Let's go. Well, this is my kind of rain. No wonder the sky looks so funny today.
This is probably where we mostly get the Dante is cool opinion from. You know, except that he's auditioning for Magic Mike at all times.
I'm told, I hear, is the gayest. Jet, do you agree?
It better be, because that's what I signed up for.
I still prefer DMC to Dante, who talks rather less, but that's just me. All of this is presented in such a confident and stylish manner, with a swagger that really belies the fact that the previous game was such a miss. And this carries the game quite a long way, but they went even further to make the combat slick and irresistible. There are now multiple different styles for Dante to use, all of which provide unique moves and combos. Trickster is the default style, and it's likely the one you'll use most because it allows for a quick dash by pressing circle, and leveling this up gives you a double dash and an air dash. These things are invaluable because of the way this entry is designed, prioritizing movement and versatility. Plus, when combined with air hike, they make the inevitable annoying platform sections a little more bearable. More seasoned pros can play about with the Swordmaster, Gunslinger, and Royal Guard styles, all of which present fresh ways to approach the combat, and as a package makes this game feel head and shoulders above everything the franchise has delivered to this point. It's not perfect though, no matter what people tell you. Did I mention those platforming sections?
Motherfucker.
That bit where you get swallowed by the sky whale can fuck off. The back third of the game often feels like repetition and padding for time. Also, the layout of the tower seems purposefully confusing, and you'll likely spend a bit of time on your first playthrough trying to figure out not just where to go, but where you even are. This might be the most useless so-called map in the history of gaming. The difficulty might also put you off early doors, as it's famously the toughest in this series. This is thanks to the Western release having Japanese hard mode labelled as normal at launch. There's an easier mode available, but only if you die multiple times in the tutorial level, and you probably won't even encounter just how controller-breakingly unfair the difficulty is until you're a few missions in and way past the point of no return. I got my first sense that all was not quite right when fighting Cerberus and getting my shit pushed right in from every which angle. The flip side of this is that easy mode might be a little too easy for some, although the late game and certainly the bosses still manage to present a fair challenge. It's a shame there's not some kind of in-between, because on normal this is just too punishing to be fun. Nevertheless, this remains Devil May Cry's high watermark. Nothing that came after would quite be able to match the balance of speed, skill, and spectacle found here. Well, nothing starring Dante anyway, but we'll get to that another time.
This just keeps getting better and better.